Likely harm. A very short phrase written in DPDP Act Section 7 about breach notification, but is impactful. Welcome to my YouTube channel where you daily see new content on data privacy. We are talking about what the small clause means under DPDP Act. It comes up in Section 7 where it actually says that the fiduciary has to inform the data principal with all the consequences, including the likely harm caused by the breach. Is it important? Yes, it is important. Harm may have occurred, may not have occurred. How do you know? Until you analyze. That is what the DPDP Act wants. Analyze and let the principal know if there is a harm or not, or if there is likely to be a harm or not. It matters because if there is no harm, then the principal can stay safe without a panic. But if there is a chance of a harm, then the principal can take corrective actions to ensure that the impact is minimized. For example, if credit card information is breached and it was very well encrypted, so you would say that even if it is breached, there are likely very less chances of harm because the encrypted data, the hacker would not be able to decrypt it. However, if it was not well encrypted, or if you're not sure whether it was encrypted, then there are likely chances that there is going to be a harm. And therefore, you need to let the principals know so that they take affirmative actions to make sure that the harm is minimized. Both ways, it is very important that you need to tell your principals that there is a breach, right? Harm assessment dimensions. What kind of personal data was there? What was it sensitive? In this case, was it ultra sensitive? What is the context of the breach? How did it happen? And what would be the potential impact? Right? In this case, of course, potential impact is misuse of card that can bring in a lot of financial issues. Data enables misuse, right? So, like in this case, there could be financial issues because there could be a misuse of the card. Contextually, assessment should consider how was the data exposed. You need to provide this information. Who could access this data? Duration of the exposure and whether the access was controlled or not. Now, all this information may not be a part of the notification, but the fiduciary has to be ready with the complete information and should perform something like a harm assessment, right? It's not a terminology given anywhere, but I'm saying something like a harm assessment where you are checking up on two things. One, personal data, and what kind of personal data in terms of sensitivity and so many other things. Second, could there be a possibility of the harm? Like one of the examples, data was fully encrypted, even if it is gone or hacked, possibility of harm is not there or negligible. However, it was not encrypted well, then there is a huge possibility of the harm. Harm assessment is also required, in my opinion, for you to ensure that you bridge the gaps which cause this to happen so that it does not repeat again. When is it unlikely? Many cases where data was strongly protected, fully encrypted, exposure was too short a time period. That someone logged in, logged out. Who logged in, who logged out, you don't know. Who tried to access a folder not authorized, you don't know right now, but you know something went wrong. Investigate, inform, it was too short, so there is no harm to the data, and we are taking the corrective measures to avoid even this kind of intrusion in our systems. No realistic misuse is visible there, or if even a possibility is seen there. You need to document it, please document it. You have to, so that you know what can possibly happen in your environment and how you can figure out or how you ensure that it does not get repeated in your environment again. You have your evidences available so that during audits and regulators visits, you can show it to them as well. Finally, a nut summary. Harm assessment is central to DPDP Act. Why? Well, harm is what you want to avoid, right? That's why you have this privacy protection. So you have to make sure that you analyze whenever there is a breach as to what kind and what extent of harm was possible or could have happened or has happened or likely harm to happen, so that your principals are well educated over it and they keep themselves or take appropriate actions so that they can minimize the impact. So that's about one of the very important clauses of breach notification, where you need to explain what is the likely harm that has happened due to the breach that has been recently witnessed. I hope you like the content of the video. Please press the bell and the like icon, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and share your feedback in the comment section. Thank you.